G'day, this is Captain Noob and this is the M1911. It is a highly iconic pistol that was around during the Great War and a little bit before that actually. I don't need to explain this weapon's significance, I'm pretty sure we're all properly familiar with it. But if you'd like to know more about this weapon in general, I suggest looking up an actual weapons history channel. Anyway, so for the receivers here, we'll take this all the way up to calibrated powerful. This thing doesn't have an advanced receiver, so that's the best we're going to get out of this thing at a measly 150 damage. We can go for a grip here, we can go for a tan polymer grip, why not? They all say standard and they don't change your stats in any way, so this is purely a cosmetic thing, so do what you like there. Next up, for the magazine, we've got the standard or quick eject, and we'll check in the quick eject for better reload, since this thing's ammo capacity is going to be bad anyways. Next up for the muzzles here, we've got either no muzzle or a range of suppressors. You can choose which one you want of the suppressors which you like better, which I think that one will just look a little bit nicer. And if you want, you can chuck a little rail system on it, but I won't do that. I'll leave that for now. And before we get into the Gunner's Plaza here, it also has a little bit more color to it here if you feel like adding it. So we'll go ahead and add you know what, that neon blue looks kind of neat, so we'll do that, and of course a legendary effect along with that. That's it for this weapon's modifications. I'll show off the rest later, but for now this is what M1911 will be using, so let's get into it. Righto, so from the thumbnail of the video you probably read that this thing has Battlefield 1 animations, and indeed it does, so I'll just whip it out for a second here. Alright, so you get little animations for drawing and putting away your gun, which is actually really cool. But hitting is just like it regularly is, so that's fine. Now, you can also tell that it's being held in one hand out in front of you, just like in Battlefield 1. And when you transition to aim down sights, it's like that too, so we'll just go ahead and take on these gunners now. With my spectacularly great aim, we should be done in no time. And there we go. It's got a little bit of blind fire from the turret, so we'll just back off a little bit down here and get rid of this gunner here. More blind fire from all the turrets freaking out that some phantom is killing all of their people, but we'll quickly... okay, now we're in danger. And the turrets will stop shooting at us now because they actually know where we are, but they can't hit us. And their AI dictates so they don't shoot what they can't see, but sometimes they shoot where they can. Never mind, I'm confusing myself. Anyway, so this weapon, reload animations too are also, it's also a custom animation there, and when you sprint, it's just like you are in Battlefield 1. So if I just sprint in this door, you can see that you held the weapon up and like that when you're approaching a wall 2 instead of pointing it down to the ground, which is like what it's like in Battlefield 1. So a lot of care and detail went into making these animations feel like Battlefield 1. Now if you're like me and don't play a lot of infantry in Battlefield 1 and just sit there in tanks all day, you might find this a little bit interesting, because it's kind of like what you remember from Battlefield 1. I can't pick apart any minor differences because I'm simply unfamiliar with it, but this looks pretty spot on to me. And as you can tell there, this thing uses 10mm pistol animations when you're in third person, and we can check that by just hitting the walk button. And if you could just drop your gun, that would be nice. I think we're in combat, so it's not an option. We'll show that off later, but oh, you've got a Gauss rifle on you, and an irradiated one at that, so I want to take you down. We'll try and get a few sneak attack criticals. It doesn't look like it's going to work, so we'll go ahead and take a few VAT shots. And as you can tell there, we get many VAT shots per AP bar there, so this thing would be absolutely great for a furious weapon. Even though it's not automatic, you can just stack heaps and heaps of hidden VATs with that 95% accuracy and do yourself very well. Now the mag capacity on this thing isn't too great, being a 1911. She's only got 7 bullets in her. I don't know why I said 17. And it can be a little bit of a problem if you need to reload all the time. Fortunately for me, the reload animation is kind of quick, and it's sped up by the quick eject mag and also rapid reload. That actually makes it blazingly fast, so it's interesting. Anyway, we'll kill this gun around the corner. There's a lot of recoil visually with the weapon too. I think the screen rattles a bit when you go ahead and shoot. Wow, I'm getting hammered here. And we will be able to take out these guys super easily with the help of slow-mo, and that's good. And we'll quickly sprint up this way, and then we'll take on this melee gunner. Are we hidden to him? Yeah, this one never seems to be switched on. They're too busy trying to get into that bloody safe there. So if no, the weapon's just gonna stay up. That's fine. We'll just test it out later. Maybe if you're in a danger or caution state, your sole survivor has the weapon up regardless of when it usually would without any combat. So we'll just go ahead and sneak attack crit all of these dudes. Okay, sneak attack's out. We're in danger, and you know what? You get a crit to the face. I believe I just saw the screen change color a bit. Yep. So, or just a little bit of a blur effect that you get when you're close to death. I saw that, and we're able to manually get nerd rage happening there. Now, I'm not hitting that turret quite as hard simply because I believe I am just out of that weapon, or that turret was out of range for this weapon. But we can close a gap on this one and get it out much quicker. So there you have it. That was the 1911. I believe this thing is a well-balanced pistol, probably more powerful than you would get with any pipe or 10mm pistols, but it's a good little medium to high tier pistol without having to use a revolver or anything. So let's see if we can just, there we go. Now the weapon's down, that we're out of danger and caution. So yep, you can see that that's an animation that I've got. That's the MCG walking animation, and with that you can tell that it's been replaced, so it's obviously a vanilla animation for the 10mm pistol. Anyway, enough about animation crap, let's move on to Swan and kill him. Righto, so I've taken this thing back to a workbench, applied a new camo, so if you thought the last one was a bit of an eyesore, there's something new on there, and I've also chucked on a reflex sight. Now this thing obviously will give us less AP usage per hit, which is going to be really good on sucking multiple hits against Swan, and it also gives us a little bit of zoom too. Does it work in the first person or third person? Not really, so we'll go ahead and get stuck into Swan and see what we can do to him. Now he's going to do his whole face shield thing, and we're going to watch ourselves just constantly hit him with sneak attack criticals as he sort of gets closer in. Is it worth doing crits? They do a little bit more damage, but it's too slow. I think we'll actually do more damage per second if we just shoot him with regular VAT shots, which is unfortunate. I wish there was like a mod out there that cuts out all that cinematic crap and when shooting VATs and would just do it normally, so I can actually spam crits without having to watch some silly animation all the time. I can understand that you'd want to have a sort of cool animation if you have maybe one crit ready to go to make it feel powerful or useful or whatever. But once you've got 5 crits going and you have to wait extra long for all that animation to transpire before you actually make the hit, it gets a little irritating. Anyways, so we're pretty much killing Swan nice and easily here. There's no trouble on him. We can just keep on backpedaling and shooting him. Like most pistols, that's basically how I handle him, but there you go. There's the power of this thing. It is obviously a very, very silent weapon, and though you'll be reloading very often, 45 ACPs are actually really kind of common in this, so even in sort of late levels you can find heaps of the ammo, so you don't need to worry about that, which is nice. I think we can move on to another monster now. Alrighty, one last monster for this weapon, and I've gone ahead and chucked on the fancy hunter camo and the EOTech holographic sight there. And while it looks goofy, I kind of like the aesthetic of having a whole microwave on top of your 1911. So we've got this thing fitted with the covert effect as well, which gives us a little bit extra sneak attack multiplier, and that way we'll be able to lay waste to this little Mirelurk Kill Claw Overlord nice and easily. So let's go ahead and just keep on critting him in the face. That 6 times damage multiplier is certainly helping there, and there's that 45 ACP flying through the air. Very nice little animation there indeed, but if you could just speed it up, that'd be good. Thank you, Todd. Yeah, you can do that for me, that'd be good. One more crit into his face, and then we get the glorious speed of regular shots in VATs. And here they come. There we go. We are absolutely destroying him. And while I am using the same method to kill this Kill Claw and as I did to Swan, I think it's perfectly reasonable to play to weapon strengths. So that is what I usually do with every single one of my weapons, which usually involves resorting to sneak attack criticals simply because sneak is overpowered in Fallout 4 and there's no way of beating around that bush. I mean, it's obvious, but it's not a bad thing that it's overpowered. It makes you do bugger off, would ya? It makes everything you're able to do sneaky and satisfying, and there's a little bit of victory music from the perk chart, so thank you Bethesda. So he's given me one last salute. Good day to you, Mylurk, and I think that is about it for the 1911. So this mod has actually been out for quite a while. This is a pretty old weapon mod, all things considered, but I went ahead and downloaded it because of that animation pack which interested me. But if you'd like to see this thing in your game, be sure to check out the description below. There will be a mod link there. And for PS4 users, unfortunately you can't get this because external assets. Thank you, Sony. I'll try to get some more PS4 friendly content on my channel soon, because I've been neglecting you guys a little bit and it makes me feel bad. But anyway, there's that. There's the 1911. Thank you for watching, guys. And time for me to have a few beers. Been working 6 days in a row.